Hello everyone, welcome to From the Star Wars Library, where Star Wars is in print, the Force is with the readers, and we meet a Force demon in this episode. I'm your host, Nathan P. Butler. This is Interlude number 2 in our gap between the 1980s and 1990s in Star Wars publishing. We're taking a look at the Marvel UK stuff that was not republished in the United States during the 1980s. This time we look at a story by Alan Moore, yes, comic book great Alan Moore, entitled The Pandora Effect, from the Empire Strikes Back Monthly in the UK, number 151, from November of 1981. And just like Death Mask by Steve Moore in the previous episode here, we're dealing with a story that is somewhat dark and creepy overall. That tends to be the feel you get from the stuff that is released during the Empire Strikes Back Monthly's run. What we have here is a story that is collected these days in the pages of Classic Star Wars Devil Worlds number 2, from 1986, when Dark Horse Comics went back and took some of the non-reprinted Marvel UK stuff from this era and put them in print in the United States, recolored. I should probably at least introduce this, since we're going to see this Devil Worlds thing for a while here. Devil Worlds has an introduction on the interior page here for both issues, on the interior cover, where it says, "These stories were originally commissioned in the early 1980s by Marvel UK for their Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back black and white magazine. Longtime fans will remember that these early Star Wars comics, both in the US and in Great Britain, did not stick as closely to established style and continuity then as they do now." You think? The stories are presented here in America and in color for the first time as historical curiosities and a look at the early work of some of England's finest creative talent. Yeah, the story here is the Pandora Effect. It is the second story in issue number 2. And it begins on the planet Atahox, where prior to the Empire Strikes Back, Leia, Han, and Chewbacca are on the planet, and they're basically looking for supplies and whatnot here. There are smuggling activities going on, and it's usually under the auspices of the local crime syndicate, which is the Exalted Torgaine? It's Torgaine. It's that other G that throws me off here. They're doing their activities, and they get off the planet before the Exalted Torgaine Crime Syndicate can find out about what they're doing and try to stop them. Makes sense, only once they're in space, the Exalted Torgaine are hot on their heels. Turns out that they weren't quite as inconspicuous as they thought. Only to wind up, while in space, going through the Hell Hoop, which is like this asteroid field kind of thing here, and there's this weird triangle thing that appears in space with a gaping hole in the middle. You know what? If that kind of thing appears in space in front of your ship, don't fly into the frickin' thing. But of course, they do. They fly into the weird triangle, this gateway, and whoop, it sort of bends its geometry and disappears from our perceptions. It actually says here, "For long seconds the colossal apparition hangs there in the void. Then slowly it twists its vast bulk back into the mad and alien geometries that spawned it. After a while, it has gone, leaving only silence, the frigid vacuum, and the infinite blackness." Okay, and infinite blackness does refer to space here. Turns out, they are being held now. They've been transported to the realm of these guys here. They don't seem too bad, seem kind of like a sitcom family. Only no, that's not exactly what they are. These are people who, in the words of their leader here, they worship evil, my handsome child. Yes, these 5 individuals here worship evil. So, how do they prove it? Very quickly. Well, they're going to worship evil by torturing these people and killing these people, because that's just what they do. And they wipe out the exalted whatevers people very, very quickly, killing them through this weird dark matter coming almost from like a wand here that one of them is carrying. And now they're going to do the same by torturing and otherwise harming our faithful heroes. Speaking of heroes, though, they look at Chewbacca and they think he's like an ape, a brute. And they think that he's more like a pet or a slave than a companion to Han and Leia. So they lock him up in the menagerie, like their little zoo, where they also have Wutzek. Wutzek is that collection of kind of weird blue, goober type things, like this weird blue energy. It kind of looks like Doctor Who's burial place, if you've seen the season finale of Season 7 of the recent relaunch of Doctor Who with the 11th Doctor and whatnot. Now, he's referred to, Wutsek, this weird blue energy thing, is referred to as a demon, a force creature of unimaginable power. It's believed that long ago his kind owned the universe, and he is noted as the last of his kind. Lots of power, lots of intelligence, but tricked by these evil worshippers into being locked up in this sort of crystal that he's in. But Chewbacca is left in the menagerie with that. Yeah, that's not going to go so well. As they are torturing Han, and they're about to go through and, kill Leia and everything, as those two's days are numbered, Chewbacca does the unthinkable. In order to save his friends, he frees the Force Demon. He frees Wutsek and sends Wutsek out, and Wutsek just starts killing all of these evil worshippers. Blizow! Blasted into nothingness. Now, in theory, he could wind up killing Leia and Han and Chewbacca. But even this weird Force Demon recognizes the fact that he owes them. They've done him a great service by setting him free. Now he's going to be loosed into the galaxy, and he wants to thank them for that. So he gives them back the Millennium Falcon, sends them back through space, and as they fly through, Wutsek destroys the entire place that they came from, where the evil worshippers had been. And as they fly off, we get this sense that, yes, they're glad to be alive, they're glad to have escaped, but there's that whole question of now Wutsek being released. Leia says, it's powerful enough to do that, and we freed it. Han, have we just done what I think we've done? Han replies, not really thinking very far ahead in the grand scheme of things. I don't know, Princess. Let's just be glad that we've done it in an Empire-held sector of space. Oh, so it's okay to release the Force Demon to go around destroying things for no apparent reason other than just the sheer joy of it, as long as it's in enemy territory. There aren't any innocents in enemy territory. Of course not. And certainly the Rebellion's goal isn't to free the entire galaxy from the Empire and set up something like, I don't know, a New Republic, a Galactic Alliance, or something like that, so that they can rule the galaxy in a more benevolent way, a galaxy in which they've just released this Force Demon. Surely not. But hey, this is 1981. They're not really thinking that far ahead at this point. Return of the Jedi wasn't out. We don't know how things are going to play out. But it certainly seems a little short-sighted of Han to just say, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Yeah, sure. I set the nuclear bomb to explode, but I did it next door, not at our house. It'll be fine. Way to go, Han. Fortunately, we don't see Wutsek and his kind really again. It's just another of these little throwaway stories, but it's got that level of creepiness because of these evil worshippers who just want to torture for glee. So, this story from The Empire Strikes Back Monthly 151, The Pandora Effect. Is this an essential read? No, it's not. It's not essential for American Marvel readers, for Marvel UK readers, or for modern readers. An interesting tale, and you can find it again in Classic Star Wars Devil Worlds number 2 or Wild Space Volume 1, but beyond that, not really much to write home about on this one. With that, we'll wrap up this episode. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with the readers.